Welcome to Generation Now TV. Pastor R.J. Davis here at Nations Ford Church. You know, we're going to be talking about a great show today, our heroes in our lives. There was a great movie that was released recently called Avengers. It chronicles the life of several superheroes, Iron Man, Captain America, the Incredible Hulk, and others. While although these are fictional characters and they're portrayed on the big screen, there are actual real heroes in our own lives that we look up to and that we take an example from each and every day, whether it be a mother, a father, an uncle, a brother, or whether it be someone that is an authority figure. It could be a firefighter, a police officer, someone that you look up to that you call your hero. Who is that person? Well, today I've got my team panel with me, and we're going to be talking about the heroes in their lives, and they're going to share their stories of who they look up to and why. So I want you to stick around on Generation Now TV as we talk about the heroes in our lives. Well, welcome back to Generation Now TV. I'm glad that you've joined us today. You know, we've got a very special show today. We're talking about the heroes in our lives. And joining me is my team panel. Let me introduce them. This is Lindsay, this is Umara, and Eric. Thank you guys for joining us and being with us today. And I want to get their stories. I want to get their life's understanding of what it is to have a hero in their lives. And so you're going to hear from them. But I want to share with you just simply a story of mine and who my hero is. For a long time, my hero, and it still is, has been my father. I've always looked up to my father, the great things that he's done, what he's showed me, and how he really taught me to be a man and to live. And so I really have admired him since the time that I was young, although at some point, you know, being a son of a preacher, I didn't want to be a preacher like him, but I still really admired him, and he was my hero, and still continues to be my hero. And so I'm just excited and I'm thankful that I've had someone in my life to be able to look up to. Not everybody has that opportunity. And so my father, for me, is my hero. And I want to know from you guys, who is that family individual, that family hero that's in your life? Lindsay, why don't you tell us who that person is for you?
The person in my family that is my hero would be my mother, because she raised us in the church and she is very religious now, and so she has been a great role model for me and my brothers and I.
Great. Umar, who's that family hero of yours that you admire, that you look up to?
I would also say my mother. From like almost the time I can remember, she has always been that wise person in my life who would tell me like what to do, when to do it, and even if I didn't listen to her, she would still be right. Like she would always be right regardless of what happened. Like I just know to listen to her, but that's
moms are always right.
Yeah, some weird way.
Eric, who's that hero from your family that you that you look up to and that you admire?
I have to say my father as well. He helped raise me to become older and know things about life, how to make it, how to survive, how to do the right things. Yeah.
It's so important. I say my father, and you said your father too, and certainly those are great individuals to have as role models, to have as heroes in our lives. Not every young man has that father figure in their life, and so I'm glad that you've said that you look up to your father, and that's something that you'll carry throughout the rest of your life. Now, heroes don't necessarily have to be a part of our family. Heroes are individuals that we may aspire to be like. Perhaps we're moving into a career area. Perhaps we just simply want to emulate someone. And so there are heroes outside of our family that we look towards and that we look to. Who's that individual, not in your family, but someone that you look towards and that you consider perhaps a hero in your life and that you may aspire to be like?
Honestly, there are a lot of people like that I aspire to be like. But if I had to choose one, I'd probably say Obama. I think through as much controversy that he's been through, with him becoming the first African-American president of the United States of America, that means a lot. I believe that through people having saying the slanderous things that they had to say about him and bringing him down, that even through all that, how he kind of overstands controversy and still stands for what he believes in, and that he's intelligent, that he can speak towards people, is is very great.
And an interesting thing you say about President Obama is that really, particularly for African American men, the ceiling has been lifted because now you have the first African American president, and so there's no excuse for any young black men, a black male, to succeed because now you can reach to the highest office in the land, and so that's great. That's an awesome hero to have in your life. Umar, what about you? Who's that person outside of your family that you look to?
I would say hands down Nikki Giovanni. She's a poet and she's a civil rights activist. I first found out about her in one of my classes. We were talking about the 60s. And being a female and an African American, she really took a stance on what she believed in and wrote to prove her point. Like, she has a sort of like intoxicating intelligence about her that is just like I admire so much, and it would be really nice if I could like meet her one day. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you'll probably have that opportunity, hopefully, and that'll be a great thing. That's awesome that you have her as a hero in your life, and I think what she stands for, what she does, is great for all of us to be able to know and to recognize. So thank you for that. Lindsay, who's that person outside of your family that you look at as your hero?
My hero would be Martin Luther King Jr. because now that President Obama has raised the bar for African Americans, Martin Luther King Jr. definitely gave us the opportunities to reach that status now. So I thank him for that.
You know, Dr. King is actually one of my heroes as well. That's outside of my family. I look at him. He was first and foremost a minister, a Christian who took a stand, and he was one that did not back down from his beliefs, did not back down from what he stood for, and he was also, I look at him as a very elegant speaker, the person who could communicate so very well with people, and that's one of the things that I love about him, and I admire about him, and he's also one of my heroes as well too. You know, when you look throughout the Bible, there's also heroes that we can find within the Bible. There's individuals, when you look throughout the pages of Scripture, I think about Joshua, I think about Peter, who even denied Jesus 3 times, but later who actually preached a message where 3,000 souls were saved and came to know Jesus Christ. And there are so many individuals within the Bible. I like to call them the heroes of our faith. And I want to know from you, who's your hero of faith, that person in the Bible that you look at, that you might identify with, or that person that really just, that compels you to live at an even greater level? Who's your hero of faith from the Bible?
I think my hero of faith from the Bible would just have to be Jesus because he is perfect and he has no sin. And he is like the perfect role model for anyone.
Absolutely. Absolutely, you can't go wrong with Jesus, right? He is the one. He was perfect man, sinless, and he set the example for us. Absolutely. Umar, that person of faith within the Bible, who do you look at, and who do you gain wisdom from when you look at their life?
I would say Mary, because she was blessed with a baby and she didn't even know how she got it.
Wow.
Like, that is very strong, and she's very powerful, and she's a motherly figure, and my mother is one of the people I aspire to be like. Mm-hmm. So it kind of goes hand in hand.
Wow, awesome. Mary is a great individual, great person, and absolutely, she was a mother at a young age as well, too. Not much older than you, I would imagine. And having this child that would be the Son of God, and that would be the Savior of the world, an awesome, awesome task. Eric, what about you? Your hero of faith from the Bible. Who's that person that you look at?
I would probably have to say David. David was a great man. I believe that because of the fact that he had to face Goliath and every other thing that he had to do, just the fact that he believed so much in spiritually and about God having his back and everything that he went through, that it relates so much to my life. Wow. How we have to encounter so many things in life with just being a black male, just even going to school, thinking that people won't think that we'll go to school. But the fact that we have to encounter those things and believe that God has our back through all that is pretty faithful enough to me.
Absolutely. David is one of the greatest kings to ever live throughout Israel, and a great man to actually look at. Hey, you know what? Whoever your hero is, I challenge you to continue to look towards them. And I challenge you to make every opportunity count. Perhaps your hero, like these individuals, your mother, your father. Perhaps you have someone outside of your family that you're aspiring to be like. Also, your hero of faith, that individual in the Bible. There's so many individuals that we can consider a hero. And I challenge you to continue to seek them out. Maybe you may not have an opportunity to meet them, but you can study them and know their story. Heroes are important in our lives. And so I want you to continue to look for that hero in your life. If you don't already have one, continue to look for one and seek that person that you can emulate. Hey, we're going to be right back with Generation Now TV, and we've got something very special for you, and so we want you to stick around. We'll be right back, Generation Now TV. All right. Well, we're back with Generation Now TV, and we've been talking with our teen panel here, and they've been sharing their stories about who their heroes are. Heroes in their family, heroes outside of their family, and also heroes of the faith, those individuals that are found in the Bible. But they've got an important message to share, particularly with this generation and their peers. And they want to share how important it is to have a hero in your life. And so I want to let each one of them share the importance of having a hero in their life. And so, Eric, why is it important to have a hero in your life? What would you tell your peers? What would you share with this generation? And why is it important to have someone to look to?
I believe it's important to have a hero in your life because with us being kids or young adults, we all don't know everything, even as much as we try to believe that we do. Having a hero is usually somebody older that you can look up to that's probably been there and been through a situation. It's helpful to have more so of a guide, somebody who can help push you through the way so that you can become more successful.
Great, great. Absolutely. Good advice. Umar, what would you say to this generation, to your peers, about having a hero in your life?
I think it's important to have a hero in your life because it gives you something to look up to. It gives you goals to strive for. And when you have goals to strive for, it gives you a purpose. And when you have a purpose, life is much better.
Absolutely. Living on purpose, living with some sort of direction. That's great advice. Lindsay, what would you tell your peers here about heroes in your life?
I think it's important to have a role model in your life so that if you do find yourself in some kind of bad situation, you can refer back to that person and see what they would do to get past hardships.
Absolutely. You know, that's great advice for anyone. Having a hero in your life is so important. And you've heard it from them why it's so important. You know, you can take it from me, but I'm a little older. But hearing it from your peers, having them understand how it's important to have a hero in your life, I would once again encourage you to seek a person out. Start with your family member and start with someone that you can look towards to be able to find that model, find that example that you can look at. One last question. We're gonna wrap up here, but just for fun, we talk about heroes who are real life individuals, but I mentioned in the beginning that superheroes, these are fictional characters, individuals that we may have grown up with, that you may have watched on the cartoons, on the TV shows. Who's your superhero in your life? That fictional superhero that you have. Who would that be?
My superhero would be Captain America.
Wow, Captain America.
Yeah. And I like him because he doesn't just represent himself, he represents America. He represents a whole country. And he works very hard to protect and to fight for that country. And I admire him for that.
Wow, awesome, awesome. Great superhero. Your superhero, Umar.
Mine would be the Hulk because, like, despite he can be an average, ordinary human being, but this beast in within can make him something extraordinary. So that's why he's my favorite.
Wow, absolutely. Eric, your superhero.
My superhero is Thor. Because he's like the god of thunder. He's very blunt about everything that he says, and he's kind of like, he has a lot of anguish and desire in everything that he does, and I think he's pretty awesome.
Hey, that's great, you guys. I really appreciate you guys being here today on Generation Now TV. You guys have shared some great insights, and it's great to know that even now as young individuals, you have heroes in your life that you can look up to. And so I want to thank you guys for being a part of this show today. Listen, once again, you need a hero in your life. You've heard it from them. And so I challenge you to do just that. Seek out that hero and to know that as you do, you'll be able to move your life to the next level. Thank you guys for joining us on Generation Now TV. Until next time, check us out on YouTube, on our Facebook page, and we want you to get involved in the conversation. We want your feedback, and we want to know that you're listening, that you're watching, and that you're plugged in. We'll see you next time on Generation Now TV.